Certainly the latter. So, as I mentioned, we've been working with AkzoNobel for a number of years, working with the Interzone 954 product and incorporating graphene into that product, and have demonstrated over a number of testing cycles that we can improve the anti-corrosive performance of that, what is already a widely used and very high-performing product. It's been around for 25 years on the market. It's widely used in Australia and globally. And what we announced with AkzoNobel a couple of months ago now was the commercial release of graphene-enhanced Interzone 954, which includes EcoSparc um, in the Australian market. And that's a really significant step in terms of the first widely used protective coating from a global major to incorporate graphene, to our knowledge. So significant barrier, and it's a true commercial inflection point for our business. It means that every unit of graphene enhanced Interzone 954 that AkzoNobel sell is a unit that we sell in terms of additive volumes. And we believe it will be a platform for further growth, not only with AkzoNobel into other products, but also for a number of the other companies in terms of coatings companies that we're working with on testing and trials. And in fact, we, since the AkzoNobel announcement, commercialized another range with a coatings company in Vietnam called PV Paints, which we announced to market in May. So I think there's real commercial momentum behind incorporating graphene into protective coatings, and we're certainly leading that charge in the market at the moment. I'm of the view that as a technology company, strategic partnerships are really important. In the initial phases of technology development, it helps validating the work that you're doing, often behind the scenes, in terms of testing and trials. So having partners there that are working with you to help validate your product and potentially their product, which includes your technology, is really significant. It really can help you crack the market and build that interest as you do the work, which often takes a lot of time. And in particular in coatings, as I mentioned, it is a lengthy qualification process. So we've, over the last 2.5 years, engaged in a number of strategic partnerships, both on field trials with parties that utilize protective coatings. We've announced work with BHP, Santos, government, and others, and also on the protective coatings side as well with AkzoNobel, as I mentioned, Dulux also, and recently PV Paints. And then upstream in terms of graphene supply, we recently announced a letter of intent with Hydrograph based in North America. And that's really important in terms of securing feedstock, so graphene feedstock from Western suppliers with really strong credentials. So I think along the value chain, it's important for us as we move forward, and we'll look to deepen those partnerships further and increase them as we progress over the next number of years. Certainly. So yes, we are working quite widely across the protective coatings industry with industry leaders. We have built our pipeline substantially over the past 18 months in particular. And a lot of that goes with building and validating what we've been doing, being a trusted provider of data and services in terms of the work that we do with the coatings industry, and progressively breaking down barriers that existed in terms of incorporating graphene into the coatings industry as well, of which there were many, because a lot of the customers that we're now working with had already tried graphene and not got it to work. So a lot of it just goes to persistence and time. And I think we're starting to reap the benefits of that work over a number of years. with the recent commercial validation of the EcoSparc product, but now expanding into other areas of the coatings market as well in terms of the ESD and conductive coatings with our recently launched product called Sparc ES. And across those majors, along with a number of smaller and regional players, we have about 20 active testing and trials work streams ongoing at the moment. So we're really confident that we'll continue to convert those into commercial products and further establish ourselves as leaders in this particular field.